This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
iHeart presents the Big Three Playoffs. This Sunday, the remaining 4 teams battle to make the championship in the most physical, fierce, and competitive basketball league in the world. The action starts with the Big Three Monster Energy Celebrity Game. Then Dwight Howard and his LA Riot take on Montrezl Harrell and Dr. J Chicago Triplets. The finale will see popular Miami 305 with stars MVP Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson take on Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Power. Who will make it to the Big Three Championship? The no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, only on CBS.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from The Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
And
Day one, joint practices between the Vikings and Patriots is officially over. They're now meeting with their friends and family, maybe potentially gathering over to chat with the media. Mark Rosen and Tennafitzgerald. A couple more segments ago, actually, it looks like we're going to be joined by Kahlef Hailassie here shortly. But Rosen, what was your main observation from joint practice today?
Again, I think just staying healthy and the fact that everybody acted maturely. They didn't have any extracurricular to the point of being silly about it. We've seen before, and Vrabel's got in the middle of that stuff. Again, it could be a different story tomorrow, but really good, sharp stuff from both teams. Our eyes on the field, Ben Lieber was saying, as far as one-on-one pass rush, his winners were Bo Richter, Jonathan Grenard, Elijah Williams, Redmond. Team winners, McLaughlin, interception, Cashman got a sack, Byron Murphy got a highlight breakup, and strong run defense. And Will Reichard hit his last 3 field goals, including a 53-yarder with a lot to spare, as Alec Lewis said, to end practice as well.
Yeah, I saw those. Saw a couple field goals in a row, and they weren't just good; they were like dead center.
Yeah, and that's
dead center good.
That's what you need. You got to remember, he got hurt last year, and then he wasn't quite the same when he came back. Here's our guy.
How you doing, Kahlef? Hey, Wayne.
Kahlef, Mark, nice to see you.
Brandon Molesky, nice to meet you. Why don't you throw that headset on? We're now joined by Vikings, I believe now safety, Kahlef Hailassie. Kahlef, Brandon Molesky, Mark Rosen, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hold on.
Hey, get you all set here.
Can you give me a little mic check there?
Yo.
There you go. Yeah, you just got to make sure you hold it nice and close to your mouth.
Yes, sir.
So, from our vantage point, it's kind of hard to see the far field as compared to the near field. So, you were on the far field the most time going against that Patriots offense.
Yeah.
So, it's a little hard for us to figure out what was going on over there with all the bodies in front. So, tell us, give us a breakdown of how you guys fared against the Patriots offense today.
I think we looked pretty good. We have a high standard, so, we gave up a couple plays, which, we're not too happy about. But other than that, man, other than a couple plays that we gave up, man, we did pretty good.
How sophisticated does Brian Flores throw things at you when you have a scrimmage like this? compared to obviously getting ready when you play the Bears in a couple weeks for the opener?
we was throwing the menu at him today.
Really?
Yeah, we was throwing the menu at him today. Had a lot of sacks, seen a lot of the O-linemen, they had a lot of holding calls on our D-line. We had a couple interceptions. So, we threw the menu at him today.
How much, like if you're playing a regular season game or even a preseason game, I'm assuming you're game planning quite a bit about your opponent.
Yes.
On a short week here, are you actually game planning before a joint practice? Like, are you trying to figure out what New England offensively is going to do, or is it kind of a little bit random today?
Yeah, we game planning, but like you said, preseason, teams not trying to really throw their whole menu out, during the game time comes, so other teams can see that on film. So they're gonna keep it pretty limited. So not a huge game plan, but we game plan little things like that.
Kahlef, in your second year from Western Kentucky, I've been watching, I like watching Hard Knocks. It gets you behind the scenes a little bit more of what goes on in training camp in particular, and I always wonder how much feedback, obviously your position coach gives you some feedback, but and I'm sure you're pretty self-grade yourself as well. How in your mind are things going for yourself right now? Do you have a good idea, or is it always you kind of in the dark a little bit?
Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's pretty in the dark. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like me, obviously, I have a high standard for myself. So, when I make plays, I like to think of it like that. But, everybody got their poker face on. It's a team thing. Like you would want to like be able to cheer, players up, stuff like that. But hey, it's a team game. So, and then, on top of that, you have to continue to do this consistently. So week in, week out, you can't get too high off, one game, even though I did have a good game, but I'm trying to come out here, week in, week out and do the same thing.
Even go back to high school. Was that the first time you ever had 2 interceptions in a game?
Yeah, that was.
Wow.
I'm guessing that's a little bit of a confidence booster.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a very high confidence booster, but, I'm still keeping my head on the right track and just want to be able to continue to keep making plays.
You get feedback from your coaches, but you also have a veteran like Harrison Smith in your room.
Yes.
I know he's a pretty quiet guy. He's been a quiet leader for many years with the Vikings. Get to know him. He's kind of keeps to himself a little bit, but he's got a future Hall of Fame resume. So what's it like to be in the room with him, and what do you glean from him?
Harry, man, like you said, Hall of Famer, vet. Every time when he talks, people listen. Like usually if somebody talking, it might be a little side convo here and there, but when Harry talking, man, everybody stop talking. They all want to listen to what he has to say, and gives a lot of great advice.
We're talking with the Vikings defensive back Kahlef Hailassie. 2 interceptions Saturday in their preseason victory over the Houston Texans here at joint practice at Twin Cities Orthopedic Performance Center. I do want to know about the position change. I know you've had some experience in high school and even a little bit in college of playing safety. That being said, apparently like just last week they asked you to make the change from corner to safety. So what was that conversation like, and what was going through your mind when you heard that?
It was very I wouldn't say random, but just them being able to see my talents and abilities to be able to cover, play inside, play outside. I'm physical, can tackle, play zone, play man. So I think when I first got here in OTAs, I was playing dime. And I had a couple good plays, playing at dime. So I feel like they said, okay, well, he could play inside a little bit. But they waited until about like last day of OTAs and said, oh, can you play safety? I'm like, yeah. Never played it again. Still training camp about like you said about a week or 2 ago. He told me, okay, well, you're gonna take some safety reps today. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a change. But, me, I'm an athlete, I can adjust. And, I feel like this is going to be a great move for me, being able to be a corner safety hybrid, and cover inside, cover the tight ends. And I could also cover receivers as well.
You said that Brian Flores threw the whole menu at the Patriots first team today. You got another game coming up, obviously, on Saturday without necessarily facing many of the first teamers for New England. But what's it like with Flores' defense to shine, have an opportunity to shine, and how badly do you want it? Because this is a really loaded defense right now.
That's a crazy question. You say, how badly do you want it? Man, I want it so bad, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I want it so bad. This is something that I've been wanting, just as far as my goals is coming into the league, like when I was in Kansas City, I saw similarities with the same defense that I was successful in college. I'm blitzing, I'm dropping back in coverage. First game against the Saints in Kansas City, catching picks. I got TFLs. I made a whole bunch of plays. And then, they let me go, and I went to a team where it's straight man. So it's like, okay, well, I could play man coverage, but I could also, have vision on the quarterback, play zone and do breaks and stuff like that. So it wasn't until I got here with Brian Flores, defense, man, Coach Flo, man. I mean, he's a mastermind, He's a mastermind, he does a lot of stuff. And I think I could be very successful here.
What does he like to play for?
What is he like to play
B-Flow,
for?
yeah.
I mean, shoot, he's very respected around here. He's very respected. Very smart, very intellectual. And I feel like the defensive scheme is crazy. And adding on top of the scheme, you add in those players that we got in there, and that just makes it a complete defense. So, I mean, I love it here.
It's a crazy world you live in because of going by this day-by-day thing where you have to just concentrate on the next practice, and try to improve yourself. But
yeah,
you kind of internalizing it to the point where I can at least relax mentally a little bit. Or are you always on edge?
I'm not gonna lie, like, hey, I'm undrafted in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I would be lying to you if I said I wasn't on edge, But I try my best to maintain, not get too high, too low on the stuff that comes with it. I do understand everything is business. A lot of politics go into it, but I try my best to stay level-headed and just go one day at a time.
Man, pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah,
sure,
thank you for your time. Really appreciate it, and
yes,
good luck making the team.
Yes, sir. Thank
we'll
you.
Get a couple more this week.
For sure, I got you.
That'll help.
All right, yeah.
All right, thanks, Kahlef.
That was great.
Kahlef Hailassie, now Vikings safety. Thank you, Kahlef. Appreciate it. We'll return here to Vikings training camp at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. Like I said, joint practices between the Vikings and the Patriots are over. We will be back tomorrow again for joint practices. As I am wondering, I am curious. Not a lot of physicality in today in terms of pushing and shoving or fighting. Maybe day 2 tomorrow. I've seen the same team.
That's what I
might bring some of that out.
If history says anything, that's normally when that happens, because this is the last time the ones will be facing each other. They won't be facing each other on Saturday. So wouldn't be surprised. And you don't want any Brock Lesnar fights that they had many years ago in Mankato, but I wouldn't be surprised you have a little pushing, shoving. And honestly, I think both coaches wouldn't mind that as long as it doesn't get out of hand. KOC and Mike Vrabel, who has a kind of a history of, as he said, I want to have a violent defense. Their personnel, as Chad Graff said yesterday, who covers his team, the Patriots, is not exactly top-notch in the NFL right now, but they got some good players.
All right, the Tennafitzgerald continues live from Egan with Mark Rosen next.
The reviews and ratings are in, and Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. And to cap off the season, iHeart presents the Big 3 Basketball Playoffs. This Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, the remaining 4 teams battle it out for the right to make the Big 3 championship in the most physical, fierce, and competitive basketball league in the world. The action starts with the Big 3 Monster Energy Celebrity Game, where your favorite stars compete in Big 3 3-on-3 basketball. Then the first of 2 semifinal games features Dwight Howard and the LA Riot taking on Montrezl Harrell and Dr. J's first-place Chicago Triplets. The finale will see popular Miami 305 with stars MVP Michael Beasley, and last will Make You Dance Stevenson take on Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Power, who finished the season winning 5 straight weeks to capture second place. Can Glenn Rice, Greg Monroe, and Paul Millsap stop Miami's physical assault, or will Miami and Beasley put an end to Dallas's winning ways? Who will make it to the Big 3 championship? This no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, only on CBS.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from The Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Looking for a mortgage, credit card, or auto loan? Then you should know your FICO score. Did you know 90% of top lenders use FICO scores? Visit myfico.com/free today to get your FICO score for free. MyFICO makes it easy to understand your credit with FICO scores, credit reports, and alerts. Visit myfico.com/free or download the MyFICO app and discover the score lenders use most.
Fantasy Football Training Camp is back at Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Join Paul Charchian and the Fantasy Football Weekly crew Friday, August 15th. That's this Friday. Full deck ballroom, 6 to 9 p.m. Enjoy elite fantasy football knowledge and your shot at a $1,000 grand prize. This is a free 18-plus event. Full details, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Two more segments to go here at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center in Eagan. This is the Tennafitzgerald. Mark Rosen with me. Rosey, I saw on ESPN.com today, they were kind of doing each NFL team, all 32. What's their ceiling? What's their floor? What's their X factor? And for the Vikings, ceiling 11-6, floor 6-11. Their biggest X factor. Usually when you read these things, it's all J.J. McCarthy related. But for this one, it says the run game.
Interesting.
They wrote, is Kevin O'Connell serious about the run game? The Vikings coach took a step toward balancing his offense in 2024 from its pass-happy ways in 2022-2023, but the ascendance of first-time starter J.J. McCarthy will necessitate a bigger shift. The Vikings will also need to run more effectively after ranking 25th in the NFL last season in EPA on running plays. There's good reason to think they can after pairing Jordan Mason with Aaron Jones Sr. in the backfield and acquiring 3 new starters on the line. McCarthy continued to develop during training camp, but counting on him to be a 4,000-yard passer in his first season seems unrealistic.
Well, it's a good point. I mean, you could probably make an argument for like 3 or 4 different aspects of the team that has to shine and flourish in order to get 11 wins or 12 wins, whatever it might be. But I think the addition of Jordan Mason is probably one of the biggest acquisitions because, the ability to run the game, to run the ball, and get J.J. McCarthy in 2nd and 4 situations, and not 2nd and 9, and we saw that a lot the last couple of years, and I think that's imperative, and I think it's going to be a combination, especially early in the year when Addison has to miss the first 3 games, that it's going to be Justin Jefferson and a lot of T.J. Hawkinson, and as we saw today, Aaron Jones catching that pass and watching rookie Donovan Jackson sprint ahead like a locomotive going down the field was a good sign to see as well. So I think there's a lot of combinations that ball control, the run game, you don't have to have the splash, 60-yard passes as much as KOC loves to air it out. I think there's going to be limitations for no other reason than JJ's inexperience at the beginning of the year.
You kind of brought up a point I was just going to bring up of I think it is going to be more of a 50-50 split than we've seen here in the past with Aaron Jones, which might be great to keep him as fresh as possible, especially, he's reached an age now for running backs that's pretty up there in age. Mason's going to be more of a, if they have a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, or goal line stuff, I'm guessing we're going to see a lot more Jordan Mason than Aaron Jones. But I thought the example that you just brought up of the screen pass today, because Aaron Jones has always been a good pass catcher out of the backfield. But whether it was just KOC's offense or maybe he didn't have the proper personnel on the offensive line to be able to get out, I feel like they've never really had an effective screen game with their running backs under KOC. And I think, as you just mentioned, after seeing that Donovan Jackson pancake block, and then he blocked the next guy as well. He took 2 guys out on that play. After seeing that, and he's very mobile, and they do have more guys on the interior that maybe can get out than previously they've had. I'd like to see that game being effective because obviously, because if your quarterback is under pressure in some of these games, it's nice to have that little screen game outlet to slow up the pass rush every once in a while. I feel like that's been missing here. Yeah,
100%. I think that a lot has to do with the improvement they've made in the offensive line. But I think from a fan's perspective, an aesthetic standpoint, there's nothing more pleasing to watch to me than a well-executed screen pass in the NFL. When you got everybody, it's like poetry in motion, watching the offensive lineman, making sure they don't get illegally downfield, getting just ahead of the running back, catching the ball, and then springing him loose. And I think it's a weapon that this team can absolutely utilize for no other reason than Justin Jefferson takes so much attention away on an every down basis, and I think that's what KOC's and I'm sure putting a lot of that into his playbook right now, and they got the guys. And let's not forget, we'll see what happens this week. Getting another look at Xavier Scott, the running back from Maine, who may end up
right out here about to catch a kickoff.
Yeah, there you go. And that's another thing. They're looking at the new kickoff rule and how he could contribute, and that's probably a good way of making this football team as well with special teams. But I'd have to say, I got to whisper this on. He's probably a little ahead of Ty Chandler right now.
Well,
might be.
When they went out the 11-11s, they put Ty Chandler out there first.
I know they did. They did. It's a lot. It's still a big mountain to climb. When you, as we heard here from Kahlef, that when you're an undrafted player in the NFL, I mean, the anxiety level has to be off the charts every day. They're not getting ready for cut-down day yet, but another week from now, that conversation will get a little meatier for all these young players.
You know, on the defensive side of the ball today, it looked like there were, from a passing standpoint for New England, there were some big plays both ways, right? For the Vikings, it looked like they had a couple pick sixes. That was more when Josh Dobbs was in as opposed to Drake May. But New England was really throwing the ball downfield, and Javon Baker had some big plays for them. We got the return of Stephon Diggs,
right?
Even though he's getting up there in age. So, one question mark with this Vikings defense, I feel like everyone's kind of given them the benefit of the doubt just because it's B-Flow, but they didn't do a whole lot to address the cornerback situation, right? They didn't invest, other than the contract they gave Byron Murphy Jr. I mean, Isaiah Rodgers was very cheap on day one of free agency. Jeff Okuda's making very little money. They didn't throw a lot of money at that position.
No, I mean, I'm looking at the depth chart right now, and you got obviously, you got right now Isaiah Rodgers and Harrison Smith is obviously the starting safety with Metellus. And then Jeff Okudah, can he make that next step to resume his career at that high level when he was a third overall draft pick? The Jay Wards of the world and Theo Jackson. So, yeah, you're right. They didn't address it a lot, but, I think they're pretty happy overall, especially if they get the kind of pass rush that these gentlemen are capable of doing. And that's something, again, you mentioned Stephon Diggs. I mean, it's fun to watch him out here. I mean, let's not forget, obviously, the Minneapolis Miracle, but coming off an ACL, he signed a 3-year, $63 million deal. It's 11th year, believe it or not, in the league. Garrett Bradbury was out here, their center. The Patriots are not, they were 4-13 last year. And that's, Robert Kraft, the owner, was out here today, and they don't take kindly to losing that way. They got themselves their franchise quarterback in Drake May, but they don't have, I don't think, an elite team built around him at the moment.
How do you think Vikings fans view Stephon Diggs? Because on the field here, he was pretty darn good and was one of the key factors in one of the most epic plays in Vikings history. But at the same time, he also kind of forced his way out here with some off the field comments and rumblings. And how do you view the legacy in terms of fans with Stephon Diggs?
As long as I've been around, a lot of wide receivers have had a lot of diva in them. That just sort of goes with the position. Going back to my buddy Ahmad Rashad.
Ding.
Yeah, I mean, he was a piece of work. I mean, he could play like crazy. He hated to run over the middle of the field. You wouldn't ever. One time you caught him catching the ball over the middle of the field. He got hurt, and that ended his career basically. But we've seen the diva aspects for a lot of wide receivers, not just here in Minnesota, but around the league. Anytime you associate someone with some weird thing off the field, what position does he play? Oh, wide receiver. So I mean, Diggs is he'll forever be remembered for that.
It's like
play.
Wide receiver and TV sports guys that are on the radio.
Same thing.
Very similar.
Very, very similar. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think, we've seen what happened with Jordan Addison, and we hear KOC talk about Addison saying, look, he's a great kid. He's made some, stupid mistakes. It's literally costing him. It's potentially costing the team the first 3 games. Not that it's going to cost him a win, but I mean, it's, these are inexcusable mistakes that you make at that level. So I don't know. The Diggs thing, I think overall, because of the Minneapolis Miracle, I think he'll always have a special place in the hearts of Viking fans. And I can't think of anything really that egregious that people are going,
no,
oh my God,
I'm with you.
Diggs is he's a bad guy. I mean, I don't remember.
But he kind of forced his way out. And sometimes
he did.
That rubs fans the wrong way.
That happens. This is a ruthless league. It goes both ways.
Well, I will say the fact that the draft pick we used that we got for Stephon Diggs turned into Justin Jefferson, I think that helped a lot for Vikings fans.
Yes, it did.
If that would have turned into Troy Williamson, people might feel differently about Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, and like I said, it goes both ways. There's a lot of times the teams use the player for their benefit, and as Kahlef just said, it's a business, and let's never lose sight of that, and they know it. These guys want to be out here playing for the joy of the game and obviously a nice paycheck, but and hopefully a championship some year. But yeah, it's still a game.
Mark Rosen, Tennafitzgerald, one final segment to go. We'll continue to talk about the purple. Also want to get into the Twins' struggles in New York and your Minnesota Lynx. Yeah. Even though they're not playing, they are newsworthy as of today. We'll do all that next. Final segment of the Tennafitzgerald right here on the Fan.
The reviews and ratings are in, and Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. And to cap off the season, iHeart presents the Big 3 Basketball Playoffs. This Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, the remaining 4 teams battle it out for the right to make the Big 3 championship in the most physical, fierce, and competitive basketball league in the world. The action starts with the Big 3 Monster Energy Celebrity Game, where your favorite stars compete in Big 3 3-on-3 basketball. Then the first of 2 semifinal games features Dwight Howard and the LA Riot taking on Montrezl Harrell and Dr. J's first-place Chicago Triplets. The finale will see popular Miami 305 with stars MVP Michael Beasley, and last will Make You Dance Stevenson take on Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Power, who finished the season winning 5 straight weeks to capture second place. Can Glenn Rice, Greg Monroe, and Paul Millsap stop Miami's physical assault, or will Miami and Beasley put an end to Dallas's winning ways? Who will make it to the Big 3 championship? This no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, only on CBS.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from The Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Looking for a mortgage, credit card, or auto loan? Then you should know your FICO score. Did you know 90% of top lenders use FICO scores? Visit myfico.com/free today to get your FICO score for free. MyFICO makes it easy to understand your credit with FICO scores, credit reports, and alerts. Visit myfico.com/free or download the MyFICO app and discover the score lenders use most.
Rock legend Daryl Hall is taking over the Minnesota State Fair Grandstand August 28th. Tickets are available now for this can't-miss show. Get full details, KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Rosen, your favorite Hall & Oates song?
Just give me any of them. They get them back together again.
They do have a good catalog. Yeah, and they can go deep.
Wait, are they wait, whoops.
The correct answer, by the way, is She's Gone.
Yeah, that has to be. Are they performing at the State Fair? I missed the promo.
Yeah, well,
one of them is.
Hall is,
yeah.
The Daryl Hall and John Oates.
That's PA's
Oates is not.
All-time favorite.
I want to see them together.
Duo. Well, they've had some litigation issues, apparently.
So. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Minnesota Twins have had some issues on the field. Not a surprise. They struggled again in New York last night by a score of 9-1, as I mentioned earlier. Do you want to hear all the horrific numbers that have come out of this game last night?
Not really.
Well, first off, Twins pitchers issued 11 walks last night.
That's not good, is it?
Twins have lost 9 straight to the Yankees going back to April 26th of 2023. The Twins, this one comes from Aaron Gleeman. Twins are now 44 and 125. That's a .260 winning percentage versus the Yankees since 2002. Twins winning percentage is .514 versus all other teams combined since 2002. All 3 Twins managers since 2002 have sub .270 winning percentage versus the Yankees. Ron Gardenhire .269, Paul Molitor .259. Rocco Baldelli somehow got worse than that and is at .237. They are 5-31 in the Bronx since they last won a series there in 2014 and have been outscored 218 to 117 in those games. And as I mentioned to you earlier, The Twins, in the first 2 games of the series, 4 hits. They have less hits than the Yankees have home runs.
Other than that, how'd you like to play, Mrs. Lincoln? It's just, I don't know, I heard John Bonus on. Was that with you, or I can't remember, PA?
Yeah, he was on with me.
Was he talking about the history of the Yankees against the Twins, even before they became the Twins, when they were the Washington Senators? And that's where the play "Damn Yankees" came about. It's been that case. I remember covering a Twins-Yankees series in New York. Twins won Game 1. Shannon Stewart was playing left field and made a catch against the wall, which is prominently featured. I think it's one of the pictures up in the press box at Target Field. And they escaped, and they won that game. I went, oh my God! And then they had an opportunity to win Game 2 and let it slip away at the end, and that was kind of it. They'd always face a Roger Clemens or an Andy Pettit, and then Mariano Rivera would finish things up, and the lineup by then. But they were just outclassed. I mean, they just had so much talent back then. But to have this streak continue over and over and over again, and the Twins were playing some decent baseball last week. Luke Keeschel was named Player of the Week, wasn't he? And he was living high off the hog and doing well. Pitching was doing well, and there's something about walking into Yankee Stadium, and it's just the ghost of that. I mean, they just can't, psychologically, that had to be so demoralizing last night when they're playing that poorly. And now they got Joe Ryan going tonight, which gives them a fair chance of at least getting through the 5th or 6th inning before they have to turn it over to their beleaguered bullpen, if he goes that far. But the offense, I don't know who's pitching for New York. Maybe Andy Pettit, he's 50 years old. But it's just... It's the same old story.
Schlittler?
I have no idea.
Hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah. Who? But, I mean, you look at their lineup now, and it's just, it's not going to strike fear in the hearts of the Yankees, that's for sure. And they come home tomorrow night, and given the news of the day with the poll ad saying we're not selling, I don't know if there's going to be a rush to the box office. They're playing a good Detroit team, and, that in itself, nice weather, weekend. People have tickets already. They probably have 15,000, 18,000 tickets sold. People are going to go. I mean, I think they probably would rather. They're not going to boo the team. And I don't think Joe Polad's going to wave from up in his suite, like Caesar, in the Roman Colosseum or something. And people are probably. I mean, they'd like to bring signs in. They'd like to wear T-shirts. I don't know what the policy is on that situation, but the wrath of the fans feeling that way about the poll ads right now is peak time right now. I don't know what else that's going to soothe the feelings of the fan base.
They had a stretch after the fire sale where some of these guys that we haven't seen get a whole lot of opportunity here were offensively. Yep. And you mentioned Keeschel. I mean, he was kind of single-handedly carrying the team offensively for a stretch. But I think what we have seen is they are so poor from a pitching standpoint. That's what it's going to. It's going to take elite offense, and they clearly haven't gotten that in the last 2 days. They haven't even got competent offense. The offense is going to go in and out at times, but they're pitching with their bullpen and everyone in the rotation other than Joe Ryan, and I guess maybe Bailey Ober. We still got to give him a shot because he's pitched all right the last game or two since coming back from injury. But this pitching staff will not hold up the rest of the year.
No, and the problem is even if you get in a close game like tonight, if you're in a 2-2 game, 6th, 7th inning, the Yankees turn it over to their bullpen, and the Twins turn it over to their bullpen. And that was, I think, the decision. Hearing from the fans as much as they have over the last couple of weeks, in particular, the sudden departure of Louis Varland, who's not an all-star, but he's had a really good ERA. They love him in Toronto right now, and the Griffin Jackses and obviously Duran. That was just like, wait, what? He was under team control for how many years? They don't give you a fighting chance now. And I can't name one guy that comes out of the bullpen. I look at these names and I'm going, they really don't even belong in the major leagues. It's not their fault.
No.
They're just being put in a position where you walk into Yankee Stadium and you're supposed to, get Aaron Judge out in the 8th inning with a guy on first base. Good luck.
Some breaking news Vikings related, as if you recall, the Vikings maybe surprisingly let go of Brian Asamoah, linebacker, yesterday. Right. According to Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, the Titans plan to claim linebacker Brian Asamoah off waivers per sources. The Vikings' former third-round pick was released Tuesday, now gets a fresh start in Tennessee, which was first in the claim order. So Tennessee was first in the claim order.
Good for Asamoah and good for the Vikings to giving him a chance this early on in camp to catch on with another team as opposed to waiting for the big push of all the players that will be released at one time, a week and a half from now. So good for Brian. Unfortunately, that draft did not work out real well for the Vikings.
I was just going to bring that up. You want to go through it?
You can. You got the names, I think.
The Vikings 2022 draft class. And this was Kwesi Adofo-Mensah's. Well, Karn's here. We can't say anything negative about the team. Great draft picks.
Just the best draft picks I've ever seen.
Kwesi Adofo-Mensah's first draft class, 2022. Lewis Seen, waived. Andrew Booth, traded.
Right.
Ed Ingram, traded. Brian Asamoah, waived.
Yep.
Caleb Evans, waived. Asizi Odamuyo, who? I don't even know how to pronounce his name. That's all I need to know about him. He was released. Ty Chandler still on the roster, but I'm not sure if he'll be on the roster in September.
Right.
Vidarian Lowe, traded. Jalen Naylor somehow has become maybe the most useful player of this entire draft class.
Yeah.
He's on the roster.
And he's a late draft pick.
Nick Muse, waived. Yeah, was Naylor a sixth-round pick?
6th or 7th. Yeah, 6th, I think.
So not a very good first draft class for Kwesi.
No, and that cycles around. As we know, I mean, it's far from a perfect science, and that it was a learning experience for Kwesi, I'm sure as well.
Now that being said, the draft classes since, Jordan Addison, I think, has been a pretty competent player here. He looks like he's taking another step now, and maybe that's just because Justin Jefferson's out and he's getting more opportunity, but. If there is one thing going well with J.J. McCarthy, it's his chemistry with Jordan Addison. We saw it in the preseason game on Saturday, and Addison made a couple great catches there, one behind his back, one was a diving catch. And even today at joint practices, Addison seemed like he can get open whenever he wants.
Yeah, he's right now, especially since the other J.J. is not on the field. I mean, he is unquestionably McCarthy's favorite target out there for the Vikings offense. The question is going to be, and it's going to be continuation, even discussion after Saturday's game here against the Patriots, is with Addison sitting out the first 3 games and the hope and the feeling that Jefferson's going to be 100% for the Bears game. Who's going to line up next to him? Is Naylor going to earn that spot? I mean, I don't. Lucky Jackson's going to be maybe a kick return. Lucky, exactly. The Ty Felton, good hands, good player, too young to count on him. So that's a loss. And losing Rondale Moore, which potentially would have given him some depth in that position. And they'll put it past the Vikings to look at the waiver wire, make a trade. And there's still a lot of things that can happen, and probably will happen with the teams. As we've seen many, many times, especially these guys up. They're not hesitant to make a move. I don't think Amari Cooper's the answer. I think his career is about washed. But you never know. There are other players out there that they obviously have a board up there they keep track of and potentially could go after.
Did you take a look at the WNBA standings today?
Not today, but I know the Lynx have a very healthy lead overall.
Well, there's now an X next to their name in the WNBA standings because. Last night they became, even though they didn't play, they're off like basically all week until
Saturday.
Until they play Liberty
schedule.
Again.
Yeah.
But they become the first team to clinch a playoff spot because Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wings beat the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark 81-80 last night. So
that must have been a great game, man. Paige against Caitlin. Wow.
Well, I don't know if they're both playing or not, but I just mentioned them.
Okay. Well, it's their team.
I did not check the box score.
Okay.
The Lynx have now made the playoffs in 14 of their last 15 seasons.
Wow. Well, this looks like a dominating year. I mean, and again, their victory over the Liberty last week in New York without Nafisa Collier was so impressive because they just buried them at the end. It wasn't like a 2-point game, 3-point game. And that's, as they say, sends a proverbial message. Now, they got a couple of rematches coming up. And we know there's a playoff run that they're not going to have to face each other potentially until the finals again. But this team looks so much better than even a year ago. I mean, Collier is unstoppable. She's got such a great all-around game, but they got a lot of depth, and Cheryl's pushing all the right buttons, and so it looks like it's going to be a very fun postseason for the Minnesota Lynx again. But more importantly, getting revenge maybe on the Liberty when it counts the most.
Well, and as you mentioned, they've been winning they haven't lost without Nafisa Collier out of the lineup, and I get the Liberty's missing a key player in Brandon Stewart as well.
Right.
But still, that's pretty impressive in a 32-game season to already have a 6-game lead.
Crazy.
And, it ain't getting closed on them now. If they can, if they're winning like this without Fee. Without Fee, the addition of Well, I can't remember her name. It's like Dejane.
Carrington?
Who they got from the Dallas Wings.
Right.
It sounds like she has just been like instant impact and immediately fit in like perfectly with
Well,
this team.
she came in with more of a defensive-minded set of skills than their offense. But I watched some of the game the other day, and I think she scored 15 or something. She looked really good, very comfortable out there. So she's fit in very, very well. I think that the importance for them to keep the pedal down is obviously they want to get home court in the finals, and that's
going to happen.
And that's a best of 7, I believe, this year. As opposed to a year ago. So, yeah, it should happen. I don't see them. How many games do they have left? I don't even know. Probably 8.
I bet you I bet they probably got 10-ish maybe.
I don't think she's going to be benching players right now. And she wants to keep the pedal down and keep winning. There's no reason not to.
Are you ready for some quarterback tiers? Not TEARS, TIERS.
Sure.
The Athletic put together their quarterback tiers, and they base it off of a panel of 50 voters who were granted anonymity to share their candidate evaluations.
Best.
The panel comprised of 6 GMs, 6 assistant GMs, 6 former GMs, 5 other executives, 8 head coaches, and 19 other coaches, including 15 coordinators. They placed 34 veteran quarterbacks into 5 tiers.
Oh, man.
From Tier 1 to Tier 5. We have 5 quarterbacks in Tier 1. You think you can figure them out?
Well, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen.
Yep.
Who am I missing here? Is Abear in there?
Who? Airbear? Abear?
Abad? No.
No, he's not in there.
Jalen Hurts?
No. You're missing Joe Burrow.
Oh, I thought I said Burrow.
Oh, I didn't think you did. I'm sorry.
Maybe I did.
So Mahomes and Joe Burrow, not only in the first tier, but they are tied for 1. So they are tied. Josh Allen is at 3, Lamar Jackson at 4. Matthew Stafford in Tier 1 as number 5.
I am sorry. I mean, I know he's a warrior, and the guy's. I mean, I know he's hurt. He's hurt right now. He's got a back issue.
Yeah.
He takes a beating all the time. I'm not quite sure I'd put him 1. I love watching Matthew Stafford. I heard someone, who was it that was ripping on Burrow a little bit for not being a winner? Did you see that?
What?
They
went to the Super Bowl in his second year.
It was a prominent person. I'm sorry, I blurted it out without remembering who said it. But
whoever said it, did you watch Cincinnati Bengals football last year?
Well,
because
enough of it.
That offense was elite.
Yeah,
it was just the defense was beyond terrible. Like
brutal.
He can't. It's not his job to stop the other team.
No.
I get it. Like, we place a lot of winning and losing on the quarterback, and sometimes rightfully so, because they have such a major impact on a game.
Yep.
But they can only do so much. They're still
exactly,
especially when there's a completely other side of the ball that's out there.
All right, get to the next tier.
Tier 2: Jaden Daniels at 6, Justin Herbert at 7, Jared Goff at 8.
Wow.
C.J. Stroud and Jalen Hurts tied at 9, Baker Mayfield at 11, Dak Prescott at 12, Jordan Love at 13, Brock Purdy at 14.
Okay.
Do you have any disagreements with those?
Not really. Brock Purdy a little bit. I mean, I still.
Well, speaking of winner, I don't think Justin Herbert should continually be this high.
No.
I mean, I don't have a problem with this in this tier, but is he above Jalen Hurts at this point? I don't think so.
No.
I don't know if he's above Jared Goff.
When Goff is not off, he's pretty damn good.
And Jordan Love at 13. I just like to mention, because Packer fans get really upset when I say he's not an elite quarterback. I just think I always say, like, he's a good quarterback. He's in the Kirk Cousins range when Kirk Cousins was here.
He hasn't proven.
These are now 50 NFL executives and coaches that are saying that. Don't get mad at me.
Fair assessment.
Tier 3: Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, Bo Nix, and Sam Darnold. They're tied for 20th. Sam Darnold, by the way, the biggest riser. He went from 29 last year to tied for 20th. Drake May. Drake May, who we saw here today. Caleb Williams at 23, Bryce Young at 24. He's going to go up, by the way, next year.
Yeah, that should be.
And Kirk Cousins is at 25, even the fact that he's not going to be a starting quarterback this year.
Penix got into a little scuffle today, I heard, during a scrimmage with the Tennessee Titans.
Did he?
Of that. Yeah, Michael Penix. Those quarterbacks like to, rough it up a little bit.
You don't want to get in scuffles with the left-handers, because you're not preparing for them to punch you with their left hand.
No. I don't think he threw any punches, but that was
always the
noted
thing with hockey fights.
Right.
You don't want to get in a hockey fight with a left-handed hitter, because your first instinct is to grab their right shoulder and grab the jersey so they can't punch you with the right arm, but if they got the left one,
you're in trouble.
So how about 2 guys the Vikings allegedly flirted with this year, Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins? ahead of we haven't seen J.J. McCarthy on here yet.
Well, why would he be in there yet? I mean, you can't. I don't think they're going to put him on potential. I mean, if the executives are going to say J.J. McCarthy, we're not going to put him in the third tier, second. We don't know what he is. No one does just yet. So I don't. So I assume he's in the final tier.
There's 5 tiers. Tier 4, Russell Wilson. He's 26th overall. Justin Fields, 27. Michael Penix Jr., 28, and then J.J. McCarthy, 29. One step ahead of another guy they flirted with, Daniel Jones, at 30.
Oh, man.
Joe Flacco, 31. Anthony Richardson, 32. And Spencer Rattler at 33.
He's still kicking around? Yeah, I mean, the McCarthy thing is kind of a silly conversation because it's, you're not going to, people have to put a name or number next to him because he's a starting quarterback for the Vikings. So who would have thought Sam Darnold would have been anywhere near mentioned last year? And he rocketed to success and got himself a nice contract out of it.
Here's what they wrote about McCarthy. He drew all Tier 4 votes because he's yet to play in the NFL game, not because voters are necessarily down on him. Mm-hmm. A former GM said, quote, I would have hope for him with that coach and that system if he can stay healthy. He has that slight build. He looked pretty good in the 2024 preseason in a short period of time. I believe in the head coach and the system. He has the arm strength. He is athletic. He is smart. He has all those things. Also said playing indoors could be another plus, a head coach said. That coach also said, quote, I just hope he's not an injury-prone guy. Another head coach said, I just don't hear slam dunk stuff out of there.
Out of where? Out of here?
Out of here, yes. Oh. Another coach said, quote, how healthy is he going to be? They are only doing one joint camp with New England. He plays on Monday night at Chicago to open the season. I'm pretty interested to see what he looks like.
Everybody is.
Do we have concerns about him being an injury guy? I thought he was like a tough guy before now.
He was a hockey player.
Like, I get he had the knee injury last year, but
he played in Michigan.
He didn't have injury stuff before, did he?
No. I mean, any quarterback has injury concerns. I'm not going to put that at top of the list for JJ worries right now.
All right, quickly, I'll see you here again tomorrow. Is there anything you're looking for joint practice number 2 tomorrow?
A little bit more, speaking of JJ, a little more downfield passing. I'd like to see some of the other wide receivers kind of get into the flow of some things because we've talked about without Addis in the first 3 games, someone's got to emerge, whether it's in the scrimmages that we're seeing or on Saturday and then following week against Tennessee to establish themselves as the number 2 receiver for the first 3 weeks of the season.
They need to let it loose tomorrow.
Let it go.
Let it go. All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
It was fun, man.
Thanks to Ron Johnson and Parker Fox as well. Both Ron Johnson and Mark Rosen will be back here with me tomorrow as we do day 2 of Vikings-Patriots joint practice. Thanks to Brett Blakemore back in St. Louis Park, and thank you for listening. It's been a good day.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Presents the Big 3 Playoffs. This Sunday, the remaining 4 teams battle to make the championship in the most physical, fierce, and competitive basketball league in the world. The action starts with the Big 3 Monster Energy Celebrity Game. Then Dwight Howard and his L.A. Ryan take on Montrezl Harrell and Dr. J Chicago Triplets. The finale will see popular Miami 305 with stars MVP Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson take on Nancy Lieberman's Dallas Power. Who will make it to the Big 3 Championship? The no-holds-barred action starts Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 Pacific, only on CBS.
Come on, why is this taking so long? This thing is ancient.
Still using yesterday's tech? Upgrade to the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Ultra-light, ultra-powerful, and built for serious productivity with Intel Core Ultra processors, blazing speed, and AI-powered performance that keeps up with your business, not the other way around.
Whoa, this thing moves.
Stop hitting snooze on new tech. Win the tech search at Lenovo.com. Lenovo. Unlock AI experiences with the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, so you can work, create, and boost productivity all on one device.
If you eat too many ultra-processed foods, you could be starving your gut microbes, and they'll get hangry. That's one of many things I learned after working on a new audio course about the gut microbiome. You can learn how to keep your gut happy by listening to Try This from The Washington Post. I'm Christina Quinn. I host Try This. Dig in with me on practical advice for life's common challenges. Follow Try This right now wherever you're listening. Seriously, try it.
Looking to buy your first car or home? Understanding your FICO score is key to achieving your life goals. Knowing your FICO scores helps you apply for loans with confidence and avoid surprises. With MyFICO, you get access to your FICO score, credit reports, 24/7 monitoring, and alerts on the go. Take the mystery out of your score and get your FICO score for free today. Visit myfico.com/free and discover the score lenders use most.